So we know that we can't take the square root of a negative number. So as you did in the form, I'm going to solve this quadratic equation. And actually, it's a quadratic inequality. So I want to know, when is it greater than or equal to 0? And so we pretend it's an equation for a minute. And this, you can either use a quadratic formula or this factors pretty easily to x equals -3 and x equals -5. And so we know those are when it equals 0. So one way to deal with this, make yourself a number line. And then we're going to try values in these different ranges and see if it's positive or negative. So if I'm over here in less than -5, if I substitute in, say, like -10 or -100 or anything into that equation, that squared term is going to be big, and everything in here will be positive. So that tells me everything on this side of -5 is positive, should be in the domain. Then I'm going to pick a number in this range. Okay. And I can do, say, I don't know, -4. If I do -4, well, everything in that range, if I take -4 and substitute in here, again, let's see what's happening. So I guess I've got to think about this one. So if x is -4, -4 squared is 16, and then -4 times 8 is -32, plus 15, well, let's see. So when x is -4, isn't that -1? So that tells me anything in this range right here will be negative. And you could pick another number and see, but that's what's going to happen. And then as soon as I get this side of -3, that would be like 0 is in that range. So if I substitute in 0, well, it's going to be a positive number. So this tells me what's in the domain of this function. Well, I can't have a negative number, and anything between -5 and -3 is going to give me a negative number, so those are out. So the interval notation will be anything from -infinity to -5, and I can close it. It's okay to have it equal to 0. Then I'm going to skip over it, skip over -5, and I'm going to skip all the way over to -3, and it's okay to include -3 because it's okay to have the square root of 0. Then I'm going to go to positive infinity. So that's the domain, and that's how you solve these kind of radical functions when you're looking for the domain. This will come into play again when you take calculus. That's why we're learning it. Hope that helps.